Good day fellow Youtubies, scratch builders and kit bashers. My name's Paul and welcome to my channel, Scratch My Junk. I hope to turn in this limited series things like this small Tupperware box left in the house into something like this. Also using things like this, and I hope you're going to join me on my journey. My previous video was an introduction showing the urban pacifier crowd control vehicle. Yep. And to back that up, I came up with an idea where, regardless, I wanted to add a superiority to back up that crowd control vehicle. The third one in the series, or the next vehicle after this one, will also be a ground vehicle, probably some kind of artillery. Very dystopian in nature. Would also probably. I cut myself off there because I was waffling on. So without further Scooby-Doo, let's go and scratch my junk. Howdy folks, look at the absolute chaos of this space. I hope some of you, or not all of you, kind of operate in this manner. I'm just getting setting up, so I'm a bit unorganized. I haven't had, I don't have all my little pots in a place where I can just quickly go to. This is supposed to be clear. So, but apparently Einstein's desk was like this as well. So yeah, didn't want to say it. Anyway, I've come to a finer point on what I'm going to do. Obviously, as I mentioned, keeping in line with the urban pacifier. Urban pacifier is going to need some air support, so we're going to use a similar tub, the same tub, sorry. And in case you don't know, this is a Tupperware and has these winged clips on, used to fasten the lid to the top. They've just been cut off with a knife and remove the rubber seal. Hopefully that's going to come in handy for something else. Anyway, back to today. I did have this small thing that I picked up from a charity shop for a couple of pound maybe or something. I've taken that apart and it did have this fin on. Now, I'm not much of I didn't really want a kit bash. I like the idea of just scratch building, making, not from toys, not from things that are already formed, but for now, I use what I have. So I'm going to make that on there. Something like that. And keeping in theme with my urban pacifier, I still have these felt tip tops. So I'm going to repurpose them in a different use. And I'll probably stick them on the back there to make a couple of boosters. And also off this, there was two attachments underneath which must have held some kind of rocket. They had these little plastic effigies, and it just so happens that they fit very nicely on the side. And within there, I'll find a similar item. This is a wall plug, or technically a roll plug they're called. I'll get to that later. But also, again, it's linking them all together. And the urban pacifier here, these are fuses, fuses from plugs. And they just happen to fit in there. So I'm going to stick them to the side. So for now, I'm going to get some bits and pieces. I'm going to start scratch building. I'm glad you've made it this far, and if you haven't, well, I've had a bit of a fumble with this one. This is my second video in my series. Excuse me, keeping with the theme of this is the urban pacifier. I'm basically just using what I have, and it's these little square Tupperware boxes which are going to be thrown out. This is before I knew that I even wanted to try scratch building. So, as I mentioned at the beginning, instead of trying to come up with something new, I've continued with that theme because I've got 3 or 4 of these boxes. So I'm thinking I'll make, there's one, an urban pacifier for the ground. Then I decided I want to do something with maybe air superiority to cover the ground vehicles. And then I've got one more that I want to make, which is going to be a ground support vehicle as well. I fumbled a lot in that video, this video at the start. You can see it. There's a lot of time lapse, there's a lot of waffling, twaffling. I really didn't have a plan what I was going to do again, like the first video that I made. I realize now to start a YouTube channel and to get this done, I need to be more methodical. I need to be more, not precise in an anal manner, you know, but just more organized. There's no point in me pressing record on the video and then, you know, trying to figure out what I'm going to do next. So I'm going to start scripting things and have a bit more of a plan. I've even just waffled on with this. Anyway, I skipped a lot towards the end because I realized I became conscious of how much time I was taking up, video time I was taking up. So we skipped to the end where I kind of now have this. I just need to check my placement in the camera. There it is. I'm generally happy with it, but I couldn't find any legs. I have added other various bits and pieces such as the roll plugs or wall plugs. I did spray it like a grey, I like grey, and then I figured I'd go black. Now I've scraped the front off. This will act as not so much as a window, but as a like a sensor array kind of. There'll be infrared built into that, so it's not something you can look through. It would be a digital screen internally, so it's protected at the same time. I'll talk you through some of the bits though. As we float around here at the front, I believe this is off a kitchen door. It's to cover the screws and things like that, so to hide details in the kitchen. This little thing at the front here, is that focus? Is rubber, and I think it went over the end of like maybe a graphics card or something like that. Obviously the Tupperware box I've already told you. The wings are off another kit. This rear piece here of an olive oil bottle. The round piece on the top is the inside of the top of the same olive oil bottle. That's obviously just a button. The rest of it's quite, yeah, you know, I'm just starting out. A turret off a helicopter from a charity shop, and then a couple of washers for feet, a couple of bits of round plastic tubing that I had from whatever. So there's not really a lot to explain on what's left on this. I think it's more about the process of how it's gone together and whether I'm happy with the finished result, of which I am. And say it's been a bit of a trial by fire, this one. I think the very first one I did went together quite well. I think I already had a collection of interesting parts which seemed to automatically fit. This one was certainly, well, considering it's an aircraft, I was winging it. Anyway, I hope you like the finished result. If you do, please, you know, give me a like and a subscribe. Follow me on my journey, and I hope you join me in the third video, because I don't know what I'm going to do with this one, but I want to get the video out. I'm going to have to paint it. Any ideas, put them below. If you've got any feedback on how I should paint this, a color scheme. I keep it black, something like, you know, out of Batman, or I even thought black and white. You know, I'm a Star Wars fan. I thought like a Stormtrooper, black and white colors. but also mixes in with the police. You know, if you're in the US, we don't have black and white cars in the UK. But I certainly don't want to do the red and green. The purpose behind, red and yellow, it just looks green because of the grey undercoat. The reason for the red is, you know, alarm, stay away from the vehicle. So the colour's specific on this, and yellow is supposed to be calming. It's a crowd control vehicle. The bits that are pointed red are just for, you know, pay attention, and the yellow is supposed to calm you down. But this vehicle is specifically intimidation, aggression, you know. So should it be black? Should it be red? Should it be purple and yellow to represent evil? I don't know. I'd love to get some feedback off it. But I'm going to leave it at that for now. Here's the finished result, side by side. I like the theme that's developing. Obviously forgot to mention this small piece here is a car, which the idea would be it would be carried into place and then lowered down and deployed. So YouTubies, thanks for joining me on this second video. Join me again on the third one, where I'll decide on I've got to practice my airbrush skills. I'll be masking this off maybe and painting a colour scheme, maybe some decals. And then hopefully on the fourth video, I'll have my third unit, which will complete the trio. Any advice and offerings, please put them in the comments below. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.